Welcome to Beyond the Coverage. I'm Chris Horner. This is the preview for the 2021 Men's World Road Race Championships starting in just a few days, guys. The build-up's there. Now, yesterday on Beyond the Coverage, I covered teams 1 through 3 and gave you my top 5 picks with the dark horse there, Caleb Hewitt. Today, I want to go 4 through 7. Now, the 7th team on my list, Great Britain, and it's Tom Peacock, right? Now, how can I make them 7th? Tom Peacock is the only guy throughout this year to put Wout van Aert into Hurt Locker. I mean, we're talking Amstel Gold. Remember Amstel Gold when it's about 10 kilometers to go? Tom Peacock's going up the road. He looks back over his shoulder like that, takes a look over at Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert shakes his head and just says, I can't do it! And we're literally putting his team 7th. Tom Peacock is 7th. I don't even rate him as 5-star. I got him as a 4-star. But here's the thing. Tom Peacock, if you're upset at me, then you got to give me some kind of results, brother. I mean, you got to give me something here to make you a 5-star favorite other than going all the way back to the classics, other than winning the mountain bike Olympics and getting a gold medal at the Olympics. But it's in the mountain bike event, brother. I'm sorry, half those guys aren't even paid. Half those guys aren't paid. The other half are paid so little that it's hard to even call them professionals. So you got to give me something, Tom. Now, I love you, brother. I love what you did in the classics. I didn't have a whole lot of faith in you early in this year's 2021 season during the classics. But then when you won your semi-classics, then the next race when you backed it up at Amstel Gold and you just put Wout van Aert in the Hurt Locker back there, I've been waiting to see a showdown with all the favorites, and it was none other than Tom Peacock that did it and actually just had guys back there shaking their heads. Now, Wout van Aert went on to win that Amstel Gold race just by millimeters. It was so close. We had to wait 30 minutes for the outcome to see who won that race. That's how close it was, and Tom Peacock was second to Wout van Aert. Beautiful race. So Tom Peacock, don't be mad at me, brother. You got to have some more results coming up into the World Championships besides an amateur race at the Olympics for the mountain bike event. All you guys are going to be hating on me for saying that, right? But it's true. I didn't make it up. These are the facts. I guarantee if we look at everybody's salary, half those guys aren't paid. The other half are barely paid and will barely qualify as professional bike riders in the Olympics. So now let's go to team number 6. Because the 6th team I have is the Netherlands with Mathieu van der Poel. Now, Mathieu van der Poel, 5-star favorite. Got him listed down there about 5th amongst the 5-star favorites. But like I said yesterday, he can make himself 2nd if his back stays good. Today, when we're looking at the teams though, I got the Netherlands rated at 6 because Mathieu van der Poel is the only one on Team Netherlands that can win because all the other guys are going to be backing him up 100%. So you know if his back comes bad, then probably the whole team is already used up trying to look after Mathieu van der Poel to try to win this year's World Championship. Next on the list, 5th, we're talking about Team Italy. Team Italy, though, has 5 riders on their list. I'm not even certain how they play the road race. I mean, with only 5 guys, you know, since they don't have 8, you know they can't be incredibly strong, but all 5 of these guys have been winning. Davide Ballerini's won classics. He's gone top 10 in the semi-classics right before the World Championships here. Sonny Colbrelli, the current road European champion, on fabulous form, but he's a 4-star favorite along with Davide Ballerini. So if you're 4-star favorite, in my book, 4-star favorites can't go pool for pool with 5-star favorites. That's just a fact. That's the way I see it. Could you see Sonny Colbrelli up there going pool for pool with Wout van Aert? No. Could you see him going pool for pool with the Primoz Roglic, Tadej Pogacar, Julian Alaphilippe, Mathieu van der Poel? It's not going to happen, right? So you know he can't be a 5-star favorite. See some people in the arguments, in the comments, arguing with me that Sonny Colbrelli is the outright favorite there and he's a 5-star favorite. 5-star favorites can pool with 5-star favorites. So, if you're telling me you think Sonny Colbrelli could be up there pulling one-on-one against Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert, and Julian Alaphilippe and the Slovenians, along with Peter Sagan, he's a 5-star favorite, but I don't see it. So I got Italy ranked 5th because keep in mind, they only have a 5-man team. They don't even have 8 here. So how can you be in the top 4 if you only have a 5-man team? I think I'm putting them even a little bit higher than the Netherlands there at this year's World Championships. But Mathieu van der Poel, if you come good, I put that team easily 4th. But of course, you're sitting 6th at this point in time. Italy, they look fabulous. They got strong guys. They can win. But remember, if everyone on Team Italy is even, who are they going to work for? If everyone on Team Italy right now, and I got you guys all put down as 4-star favorites for this World Championships, but like I said, if 4-star favorites can't pull with 5, how can I rate the team higher than 5th overall here at the World Championships? Now, my number 4 team, you guys already know who it's going to be, right? Team Denmark. They're absolutely stacked with riders. 4 of their riders look fantastic for this year's World Championships. Ex-world champion Mads Pedersen, he's on good form. Got done winning a stage in Norway. He's been riding top 10 at other stages. He is riding fantastic. He's on good form. Now you look at Michael Valgren, who's won down at the Italian Semi-Classics. You got Magnus Cort Nielsen, who's been winning throughout this year's Vuelta. 3 stage wins for Magnus Cort Nielsen at this year's Vuelta. And then I haven't even brought up Kasper Asgreen. Asgreen has the one kind of form and legs that he might be able to ride with the 5-star favorites and go pull for pull with them. Now, I got everyone on the Team Denmark listed as 4-star favorites, but Kasper Asgreen, you gotta know if he's really flying. He's the one guy out of the favorites up there that can probably go pull for pull with 5-star favorites at this year's World Championships. But he's going to have to be 100% in order to do it. So I got him marked down as a 4-star favorite. Their team, though, 4th on the list here at the World Championships with only a little bit of doubt between the Netherlands teams because Mathieu van der Poel, if your back's good, I'd mark you guys 4th and then, of course, move all the teams back down. So what does Team Denmark have to do in order to win the World Championships? Because they're stacked with quality field along with the Italian riders. But here's the deal. Denmark could actually keep Kasper Asgreen with the favorite 5-star riders. As long as he doesn't have to go pull for pull and he's sitting on those guys, I think he could follow their attacks. And if they're trying to bring back another rider from Denmark, and I'm talking about, Magnus Cort Nielsen, we saw what he can do. Valgren, where we saw him at the Italian Semi-Classics, at Tuscany holding off all the favorites back there to win solo, and then the next day beating Sonny Cabrelli after another fabulous ride. So that team is stacked. They got to do something in that last third of the race. So we're talking about 50 to 80 kilometers to go. They got to send their guys up the road or already have one in the early break. That way there, someone like Kasper Asgreen can sit on the 5-star favorites for as long as possible and maybe jump away with 10 kilometers to go. He's not going to be able to beat a Wout van Aert in the sprint. Mathieu van der Poel's faster even. And then Peter Sagan is definitely faster still than Kasper Asgreen. So Denmark have to be aggressive. They are going to be the ones that we want to look forward to lighten up this race, along, of course, with the 2 Slovenians, Tadej Pogačar and Primož Roglič, who cannot afford to come to the very finish of this race with Wout van Aert. Going to be exciting racing from Team Denmark. You know they're strong and they're motivated. All of them have been winning all the way up here to the World Championships. So they got everything on their shoulders to prove about how strong they can be and whether or not if they can win the 2021 World Championships and take it away from Team Belgium and leave Wout van Aert behind, because you don't want to go to the line with Wout van Aert. But they got fabulous numbers and they got a great team. That's why they're sitting 4th here on the Chris Horner pick for Beyond the Coverage. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next edition of Beyond the Coverage.